Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about the OA Part 2, Episode 8. It is called Overview. So, full spoilers for the episode as always, and hopefully we can give you an overview of the season.
I'm not sure we can.
We can try.
We can try, but
I'll say this.
boy.
I know the last 10 minutes of this episode, it's not the craziest what the hell's happening right now TV thing I've ever had, right? It's not. But it's probably the biggest one we've had since we started doing these reviews.
I'm trying to think if there was anything in Twin Peaks.
Sure. But I think with Twin Peaks,
you go in expecting the oddity.
It's David Lynch. I'm expecting weird.
Yeah.
Whereas what happened in the last 10 minutes of this, genuinely,
even by this show's standards,
genuinely just came out of nowhere. There was no,
yeah.
At least I don't remember any hints to this specifically.
We got not specifically. We got the idea of the concept of this place in Scott's NDE, but that's it.
Yeah, but so. I mean, where do I begin?
I think we have to begin at the end, don't we?
I think we do, yeah. So I did say full spoilers. So everything's converging. We have OA/Nina, because they're kind of mixed now. Haps built giant versions of those robots, which, by the way, see when that thing opened and the giant robot arms came out, I'm like, Jesus Christ, Hap, the little ones work just fine. You didn't need the big ones.
Hap don't do half measures. It's all about the showmanship.
Even at that point, I was like, man, this finale's weird. You got these giant robots.
Yeah.
Right? Kareem's been in the house. He's going towards. He's actually found the secret entrance to get up to the attic with the window, and Earth 1 people have found the hospital, and BB is taking them through there, and she's sensing that OA is in the room, and she senses that they're in the room as well, because we see that a lot of the bodies, what Rachel saw in the room was actually this pool where people, remember we saw at Scott's ear the flowers grow? Well, yeah. They have been blossoming from every orifice, and he's got them in a pool, and Steven's in there, Jesse's in there.
So interesting. I was actually right. I mean, I didn't get the whole tree stuff, but way back when we got the only BBA can travel, it's not safe. I said because Hap's got them in that room.
I'll take your word for it. I don't remember you saying that.
Oh, I remember saying it. I'm taking credit on this one, damn it.
Of course you do. Fair enough. They're in the room. You got that right. Would you want a medal?
As long as it's gold.
No, you get bronze medal. Deal with it.
I'm good.
Go with the ginger hair.
It'll blend in. Don't need it.
So this has all happened at the same time, and Haps got OA out in these robots doing the movements. He's with her. Homer comes running out. Who's we start the episode with him remembering, because Nina, she's full on Nina. She's doing the accent, and she does seem to have all the memories. She comes in, but she has this moment with Homer. It's a couple of little moments which sort of trigger Homer's memories, and he remembers. And it's not like he's completely taken over, because afterwards, when Renata's asking him about it, he says he's both.
Yes, in a similar way to OA and Nina.
Yeah, so. And I love the start of this episode, actually, because the cinematography felt really confident in that it was going for a very specific mood. There was a lot of wide shots. There was a lot. It had this eerie kind of feeling to it. The thunder was going on, and then we had the bathing red light once the power went out and the backup generators kicked in. It gave it this feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
It gave it this feeling, and so anyway, this is all happening at the end. It's all converging. Robots are doing the movements. BBA senses kind of this. Maybe doesn't know exactly what's going on, but she's like, we have to do the movements now. So they all start doing the movements. Our main group, Earth 1. And I'm like, where's this going? What's happening here? Right? They can't travel to Earth 2. We know they can, because at least most of them are in the pool, and they're all, basically dead for lack, maybe they might not be clinically dead, but they're gone.
Sure, yeah.
Nothing could be happened there. Are they going to travel together? Hap shoots Homer. It's very reminiscent of OA being shot when she was going to travel. at the end of
Yeah.
season 1. All these things. Kareem opens the window, and it's right around this same time that there's a shot from looking at Hap where he's looking upwards as if Owe is rising,
Yeah.
as if she's floating, and then that's what Kareem sees. He sees her floating, and then there's like a bird, it's like a dove, it flies through the window and hits Owe. And this on its own, I was like, wait, what's happening? What's going on with the dove? And then there's like I guess kind of blinding light. You can't really see much. And then she falls, and there's a shot here quite quickly before it really starts to reveal what's been seen around her. Right, what we've changed to, where I noticed like a crane arm, like the cherry picker arm, right? And I went, wait a minute, that was a crane arm.
Yeah.
Was that a mistake? And then
naturally, your first assumption.
Yeah.
It happens from time to time, right?
It does, because it was just at the edge of the frame. It wasn't like it was like proper in the shot. It was like right at the edge.
It's happened in many a professional production.
And then the blue screen appears, and then like, and then in comes running people, and it's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then someone else calls her Brit, and I'm like, "You madmen, what are you doing?"
There was a line before they went where Hap says, "Oh, it's another world where everyone knows you're Owe, but no one calls you that."
Yeah,
Like, and then I didn't think too much of that line as he said it, and then it got to this, and I went, "Huh."
And they're loading into it because she's fallen from a height. Obviously she needs an ambulance, and because Hap goes to touch her hair and he takes off her wig. And she's got shorter hair, and then she gets the ambulance.
Some blood on the floor,
and he's like, "Oh, I'm Jason Isaacs, so I'm her husband." And I'm like, first of all, are they married? I didn't know this.
No, they aren't.
They aren't. Okay.
And that was one element of this that was somewhat ruined for me about a week ago. Okay. Although not the full context, because I was pressing a phone and there was a big headline going, "Are Jason Isaacs and Brit Marling married?" I was like, "What? No, I'm pretty sure they're not." Yeah. So I clicked on it, and no spoiler warning. It just went, "Oh, in the latest, in the new season, they visited Earth where they're married," and I went, "Huh, right, okay." I was like, I wish I hadn't seen that, but so that was in my head for the last like couple of episodes. I was like, where are we getting to that?
But it didn't spoil that it was like our world.
No, they didn't.
Right. Well, I'm going to therefore refer to this as Earth Prime. And DC fans understand why I'm referring to it as that.
It's almost Earth Prime, isn't it? It's almost ours.
It basically is. I mean, the marriage thing aside.
Details.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for all intents and purposes, the concept of it being the world where this is a TV show.
Yeah, it's Earth Prime. Earth Prime being our Earth. The Earth in which the entertainment is created. And Kareem gets Michelle back. Michelle seems to be in the actor. Let me get his name. Ian Alexander. He's on set, and he's like, Michelle, and he comes running towards and
climbs up the ladder.
Which begs the question, because obviously we end with she's in the ambulance, OA, and Hap's in there, and then we see the feet running, and it's very again reminiscent of the end of season 1. And sure enough,
it's exactly the same, isn't it?
In comes Stephen. He's got different hair. He's got his leather jacket on, and for a second you're just like, is it him? And then he looks at Hap, and it takes for a second for him to realise who he's looking at, and he's like, "Hey, Hap," and I'm like, "Oh yeah." So this begs the question: did they all travel here?
Yes.
And okay, so this is what I was getting to though. Could there be 3 people in the same body at one time? Because Michelle was in Buck's body, or in Ian Alexander's body, to be specific.
There was likely a crossover period.
A crossover period, right? So, but you think Buck is in Ian Alexander's body? So
I do.
That's fair.
I think it was like I think the timings might be a little bit skewy, where maybe they arrived slightly after. So Michelle left, and then Buck went in.
Okay.
But almost instantaneously after that moment, though.
So and presumably they're all the actors that play their characters. I wonder if this is what this dude normally looks like. Where is he? Patrick Gibson. Is this what Patrick Gibson normally walks around looking like?
I have no idea, but reasonable assumption for now.
So I have two immediate thoughts on this whole final 10 minutes. Two immediate thoughts.
What the
One,
hell?
well, that sure. One, they have giant balls.
Oh yeah.
They have balls to do this.
Oh, they do.
And number two, I really want a part 3 now because I really want them all to be playing themselves, but mixed with their characters. There's something fascinating about that idea. They're not just playing themselves; they're playing themselves mixed with characters. And how meta it's going to be when they're asking Brit in the hospital how the shooting of the OA is going, or and so on and so forth.
Oh, this is crazy.
Imagine going back to the start, or not even the start, just like even the end of season 1 and saying to our younger selves then, oh, by the way, season 2 ends with them coming to the world, but it's a TV show.
If you told me that 10 minutes before the end of this episode, I've still gone, piss off.
My mouth was agape. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
You watched this before me, and you were like, holy shit, that ending. Right?
I did, yeah. Message you.
And I went, all right, it's probably a big cliffhanger then, because that's usually when you send me that message, right? But,
and technically there is a cliffhanger, but that's not why I was saying it.
No, but usually that, it's not the first time I've gotten that message from you when you've watched it before me. So I was going, all right, okay. And then about 5 minutes from the end, I was just like, oh, God damn it. This.
I want to give it credit, because it's out of nowhere, but not in a way that feels like a cheat. The rules...
It doesn't feel like impossible, it's just we never considered it.
Yeah. It wasn't set up in a way where it was obvious it was going to this place, or it was heavily hinting at this. A couple of little things aside. But the rules do not make it feel like it's a cheat. In no way do I feel like this was just pulled out. I feel like they knew they were getting to this, but it wasn't about building up to it in the traditional
I agree.
sense.
I don't think there was... We never considered it as a possibility.
No.
And that's why it's a surprise. It doesn't feel cheap, because if we had considered it as a possibility for whatever reason, I'm sure we would have agreed that it was, on the table because infinite Earths, right?
Yes.
So why not? So it doesn't break any of its rules. It doesn't feel like it's impossible. It's just a complete surprise.
Connor's holding in hiccups.
Yeah.
So so BBA will literally have been on The Office if we get a part 3.
Oh, I really hope so.
It will literally be Phyllis who was on The Office.
We have Jason Isaacs talking about like Harry Potter and stuff.
And the fact that he played a character on Star Trek that was also hopping universes.
Yes. Oh, this has so much potential. Damn it, Netflix, you better give it us.
They're mad people. They're absolute mad people. Brit Marling has the biggest balls in Hollywood. Biggest balls in Hollywood on Brit Marling. I'm done. If I have not a critique, if I have a comment to make about the events of the episode, is that I think it's really funny that Homer just gets his memories, realizes who he is, and he's almost immediately shot and is dying. And I'm like, these two just aren't destined to have a happy time together. It's like just
maybe that's the point.
Yeah. But it makes sense to me that they all travel to the same place because they're all thinking about each other. They're thinking about OA. They want to go to where OA is.
As a rule.
Yeah. And OA likewise kind of realizes or senses things. She touches the door and she kind of feels that BBA is also there. Like there's little connections where she can kind of sense things as well. But yeah. And Hap continues to be diabolical in every sense of the word. I did really enjoy early on, though, when she's full on Nina. And she keeps bringing up things from her past to kind of prove that she's really Nina.
We drink vodka.
Yeah.
It's behind that book, obviously.
Hap is so out of his element, he doesn't know what to do. He looks lost and confused.
Yes, because of course he's still suppressing, his counterpart.
Yeah.
Has no access to those memories whatsoever.
Oh yeah, I don't just mean in the sense that he doesn't know what the memories are. I just mean in the sense that he's kind of lost. Like she actually has the upper hand on him.
Oh yeah, okay.
He doesn't feel like he's in power in the scene, and I think that makes him deeply uncomfortable because he's Hap.
Yeah, he's not used to that, is he?
Yeah, so I like that element to it. Joe, it's funny. Like at the last episode, we were saying how it doesn't feel like it was building up to the finale in any big way.
I stand by that.
you can stand by that, but I don't think this episode doesn't in any way feel like a finale.
No, this one definitely does. I think it makes 7 feel like a misstep even more. Just in context of looking at the season and the pacing, it makes 7 feel particularly weird. But this episode did a good job despite that.
I'll have the same problems with 7 that you do. But I don't know, this felt climatic. It felt like everything was coming together. It felt stylish. Right from the start, there was this kind of foreboding tone to everything. Like everything was about to happen, and the filmmaking seemed especially on point compared to. Not that it's been bad this season. It's been fine all season. Great in some places, but this episode it felt like they really were giving it a style. They were giving it something that was a bit above and beyond what the rest of the season had. It does kind of feel like Kareem's plot and everything on Earth 2 is kind of done.
It's like, see, I don't know if it is. Because otherwise, to me, it feels relatively pointless.
Okay.
In the sense of, other than getting Michelle out of the body, right, and back, what did any of that actually accomplish with the house? It doesn't actually have any impact on anything else.
Well, I mean, all of Hap's things came from it. What he knew about the bodies, his map, where he was going, all that stuff came from it.
The concept of a house that creates these seeds, sure, that has an impact. But the idea of the house calling to Kareem, all this stuff, it doesn't matter at all. He doesn't do anything.
Oh, maybe you're right then. Maybe we're not done with it then. But you sound so annoyed.
I am a bit annoyed because I felt like I wasn't particularly enjoying that plot all season. I was thinking, okay, it's going to come together, it's going to tie in, it's going to have a purpose. I don't feel like it did. I felt like my time was wasted with that plot because I don't think it accomplished anything.
Can it accomplish something in and of itself?
What do you mean?
Well, you say that it accomplished. I think it didn't tie into like the other stuff as much as you'd have liked. But can't it accomplish something on its own? Has this and yeah, thinking about it more, I probably do expect more of Kareem next part if we do get another part, because now he believes in this stuff. Like now he is, seen it. He's seen the light, literally even. So.
Yes.
It makes sense. And we set up a lot of stuff with Ruskin and stuff. So I would wonder though if instead of like seeing him directly again, either if we see him, like, I don't know, like if his counterpart shows up at some point in part 3 rather than him directly, or if he does travel through, maybe there is a bit of plot on Earth 2 to give him a reason, because now he knows how to get there. He can literally just go through the house and get through the window, right?
In theory, yes.
Yeah, and he can go there. Can he pick where he's going specifically? I don't know.
It didn't seem like he had any control. He just looked through it and it changed depending on what the others were doing, didn't it?
Potentially. I wonder if it's just connected to what I don't know, because what part of what we've been saying all season is that if you have a connection with the place, or you're thinking of someone, if he was thinking about finding Michelle, then it would have gotten him to the same place.
Yeah, it was weird. It felt like it was linked with OA in that it was all the kind of vague background, right? There was nothing out the window. It was just OA there.
Oh yeah, he even sees OA. I'm not disputing that it might be
right,
that.
Right, and it's when OA travels that for him as well, it shifts to that Earth perspective.
Yeah,
which could be right. It could be just he was thinking of Michelle.
It could be because it was her. It could be that he only even saw her because they were both going to the same place. It was almost like passing each other on the road.
Could have been coincidence. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's probably far too simple for this show's interpretations. But no, I'm intrigued by this. I do hope we see him again in part 3. I hope we kind of see, because it's been implied so far that he is important. And I was actually trying to think about it after the end of the episode, try to think about how all the people who were sleeping and dreaming were dreaming of him, right?
Yeah.
And how that maybe ties into the idea that if they were dreaming of the real world, like, Earth Prime specifically, right? Does that tie into that in some way where it's more connected to
What
specifically?
what what makes you think they were dreaming of Earth Prime?
Well, no, I don't necessarily think they were. I'm just
Oh, you're just
speculating.
wondering if they were.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm speculating that if they were, like, is that why they thought of him specifically? Like, is he someone important in Earth Prime, or like, is it more to do with the fact that he is the one who finds Michelle rather than that he is actually as important? Is it more just about predicting the future and seeing a premonition?
Yeah, is it essentially a bit paradoxical in the sense that he only did it because he was set on this path, right?
Hmm.
Um, but they are obviously, if they're having it as a premonition, it's right, where's the causality?
And Ruskin does say the house is calling to you. You can feel it calling to you. Uh,
Yeah,
and that's just fine. So I'm curious to see, like, how that is, and if he is important, if he is kind of important, like OA is, where OA has been chosen and is, as the original angel, as you put it. Um, I expect to see him in some capacity, but
I would expect to,
if
although
if
I'm
that
not
if that's your
particularly thrilled.
sour note though, is the Kareem side of things. How are you feeling about the rest of it though? Do you actually
Yeah,
like everything else in
I
this
like
episode?
everything else. I can pretty confidently say I like everything in this season except Kareem.
Okay.
And that kind of just that, a couple of placement issues and pacing of things here or there, but the actual content, I mostly like everything except his plot.
Okay.
Yeah,
I I don't have the same ill will towards Kareem's story. I was intrigued by the house, although it was definitely, I'd say, my least favorite part, if that makes more sense.
yeah. No, no, I'm with you.
Just in the sense that I care more about the mythology of what the people on Earth One are doing. I care more about what Oa's importance is, what Hap's up to. Every time Hap gets evil and tries to scheme, it's delightfully evil,
It
and I
is,
love it.
yes. And giant robot arms.
And giant robot arms. Uh, this show is wonderfully weird at times, and then it throws that ending at us, that last 10 minutes, and I'm like,
It goes batshit, yeah.
and we're like, wait, what are we doing? We're doing this? What?
Because, like you said, it's not exactly an unfamiliar concept. We're referred to it as Earth Prime because we've seen that story in DC Comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the unexpected nature of it that really threw it as a loop.
I'm so glad I didn't have this spoil for me. I'm so glad this hit me like a, because
Yeah, me too.
my mouth was agape. I was sort of grinning like a madman just because it was like, this is insane. I can't believe they actually are doing this. And I am fascinated by what a season 3 could be, because I have to imagine the tone would again be very different, because all of a sudden they're all going to be actors who are being like interviewed and like hounded, and like,
Yeah.
will there be like a weird conspiracy of why they're all acting weird? If let's say they all start acting weird, kind of like how this season, like BBA and the kids were all like sort of being searched for by the police because they've been on the run. Like, if they all start hanging out and start acting weird, does like people start speculating, are they in some sort of cult? Or
They're doing method acting.
Doing method acting. do we have them like show up at the White House and start doing the movements in front of everyone? Do you get like cameos from like Jimmy Kimmel and so on in chat shows?
I don't want to know.
Trying to understand what they're doing. There's
This
so
whole
much
thing
potential.
Potential is the word, right? There's just so much.
I, for one, am looking forward to OA Part 3 starring Brit Marling as Brit Marling and Jason Isaacs as Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, it's gonna be something if it ever happens. Because obviously, as we record this, Netflix has not greenlit another season yet.
But it is worth mentioning we're still within the realm of time where it's not weird that they
absolutely, absolutely. But even if they do, we're probably not going to see it till like 2021, 2022.
haven't. Given how long this one took, yeah. I hope they give it like a third and final and say, okay, we're getting one more. We get a part 3, 8 episodes. That's it. That's the end. So they know they're finishing it, and they can throw some weird thing at the end again if they want. But I want to see this season. I want to see this real world
Yeah,
version of
yeah,
the
I
OA.
do.
I want it so bad. Like, could Jesse and Rachel be here?
They could.
Like, actually, them though. Like, could they have travelled? I mean, Jesse more likely perhaps because his thoughts were kind of with like Stephen and the others. Because actually, I really liked that scene when Stephen showed up at the hospital and they all hugged. Like, I actually thought that was quite sweet.
Yeah. With Jesse, I guess it depends on if it was too late.
Yeah. Whereas Rachel, she wouldn't necessarily be connected to them. So it's kind of hard to say. I feel like the original crew outside of Homer is probably done with now and left behind.
Yeah, probably.
Because they definitely felt smaller this season compared to last season.
They did.
Which is fine. Like I always liked the kids in the house and estate more than I did the kidnapped victims, but you know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
But you know, I have to admit,
it was an experience, wasn't it?
This, do you know what this reminded me of? And I won't get any specifics, but for anyone who watched Lost, the season 3 finale of Lost, the final scene of season 3 of Lost, that hit me like a goddamn freight train, with its twist. Not just because it was like a really, like, you know, out there left turn in terms of ideas, but also because how it recontextualized things moving forward. I don't think this is quite as good as that twist, but it's definitely the closest I've felt to that since I think then. Which, you know, that'd have been what, like 2007 ish. So it's been good 12 years.
Probably early 2007.
So, you know, I want to like point out how this made me feel at the end. Like the rush of emotions as I was realizing what they were doing in the Crazy Bastards. Like there was like this.
Yeah. It was so unexpected, but so immediately interesting and compelling as to, we can play with this.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, if they'd went to like another Earth and it was just like a different fictional Earth, that'd have been fine. Like we could have done something, you know.
Yeah, they could have even done like shown us 2 minutes on that Earth as to be that's why this is interesting, and I'd have been excited.
Yeah, maybe on this other fictional Earth, always like an astronaut and she's in space. So I don't know, like whatever.
Yeah, I don't think I don't want to predict. Oh, this is what I would have had to make me excited. But
sure, yeah.
There is, you know, with it being okay, you can do any sort of Earth you want, right? There's bound to have been something they could have done where I'd have been excited by the prospect of seeing that. I
think season 2's Earth 2 was a really smart choice because it was like really simple and it's thinking. It was just okay. Prairie never got hurt, so she never came to the US. It's Nina, right? And it's just that branch, that split path, and it's everything that happened from there. It's like a really close to what it's everything. We can almost essentially have predicted everything. Well, not everything how it turned out, but like what the key differences were going to be in the past, right? Whereas this is like, I need to go read the Wikipedia page for Brit Marling to see what her backstory is.
I think I think we were expecting the thing to not necessarily surprise us, but to excite us being this travel when they travel at the end of this season to have gone to outside their echo.
Yes.
And it had been just something completely different that we wouldn't have even recognized necessarily, and be like, okay, how are they playing with this?
Yeah, so in this universe, Hap is a horse.
Sure, why not?
Named Jeremy.
Sure, why not? I got nothing. But this here is clearly still within the Echo because they're all, or at least, well, we don't know how Homer fits into it yet, but clearly, OA and Hap are closely linked, as we were told before. So it's just a very interesting way of staying within that echo of, okay, no, it's what we thought would have been simple changes to that rule, right? Like, okay, this one she didn't go blind. This one, this happened, right? and just like one little change for each Earth, and it led to all these different things. Whereas instead we've got no, it's still completely different. It's not like those events happened to this one and then they diverged, but it still follows the rule of that echo of them being connected.
I'd say it's a more distant echo. This, if you imagine like a series of like layers, I'd say this is like on the fringe of their echoes because it's so different. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But the concept of
Yeah.
the pair of them being close in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, like they're all together because they're a cast, and in the case of Isaacs and Marlin, it's like no, they're actually a couple on this earth, but
Yeah,
like they're all linked in some way, and I don't think we ever thought to go meta with it and say they're all linked because they're all working on the show together.
yeah, it never occurred to us to go meta.
Because for all we know, because you know how like she said when this was all explained to us, the echoes, it was like, oh, you probably met, or Nino and this earth met Hap the same time you probably did, or around the same time. Like, I wonder if we find out, oh, they did still meet 7 years ago, on a movie or something like that, or
Almost certainly.
yeah, or given how long it takes to film a season of this, they met at the start of filming season 1 of the OA.
I wonder if they worked on anything together about 7 years ago, in reality.
I don't know. One way to find out.
Yeah, I can't be bothered cross-referencing that right now.
That's true. Yeah, I'd have to cross-reference. What was 7 years ago?
2012?
Oh, no, wait a minute, though, because it was still set in 2016 in the show, but I mean, I don't know if that applies to this new Earth.
That's true. I mean, anywhere between 2009 and 2012.
This is going to be really hard to do, actually, because
yeah, that's why I was saying we're not doing that right now.
Yeah. It wasn't another Earth, I can say that much. But and she's been on a lot of stuff I've not seen. Well, not a lot, but she's been on a few
more
movies.
Than you expected.
Yeah, never heard of any of these. Did she write any of these? Because I'd been intrigued. Not that one.
And also, yeah, I'm saying this. It doesn't have to have been they met working on something. They could have just met.
That's true.
Friends of friends. It's how these things happen. But yeah, we never considered the meta, and that's on us.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, I was looking through her credits to see if it was anything else she actually worked on as a writer. She did work on The East, which was her, Bill Skarsgård, Ellen Page. I vaguely remember trailers for this movie, actually. I never saw it, though.
I don't recall it, I'll be honest with you. I might if I saw a trailer.
An operative for an elite private intelligence firm finds her priorities changing dramatically after she is tasked with infiltrating an anarchist group known for executing covert attacks upon major corporations. Which doesn't sound like the most Brit Marling thing ever, but
there's probably a twist to it.
Yeah, there's probably,
or a tone to it more than anything.
Yeah, because if you describe the OA, like, we know how it feels, but if you actually describe it in terms of genre, it's like, oh, it's a drama with mystical elements, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really have much to go on. But yeah. Okay, well, that was a
season.
It's worth mentioning she did literally nothing between season 1 of 2 of the OA. Like, she has been working on it. Like, all this time.
And it still took 2.5 years. Christ.
Took all this time. It's great.
Oh.
No. I think season 1 is definitely the more consistent season from start to finish.
Yeah.
Season 2, though, definitely has some highs, and holy shit, that ending.
Yeah, I think season 1 is a better season. I think I preferred the themes, the belief versus reality. I really liked that.
Mm-hmm.
This season, I like a lot of the leaning into the sci-fi and the mysticism elements of it.
I think
fun stuff.
To go back to those themes from season 1 in the context of where we're going now at the end of part 2, is the idea that, if she's making this up, she's making up a story, and the idea that the whole thing's a made up story, the idea that we're playing with, like, creating these stories and what they mean.
Are they going to actually be concerned that, are they actually real, or is this the real Earth and everything's just a story?
I haven't really thought of that. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know if they will. Just
I don't think they'd doubt themselves. I think they would assume that they're still them.
That's fair, but it's a possibility.
and yeah, unless we do some sort of weird thing where the movements no longer work because they are in the real world and it only worked in the fictional worlds. I mean,
Okay.
we get really meta with that, and like, oh no, this is like, I don't know.
Yeah. It really depends on whether or not this Earth is just another Earth, or if it is kind of prime in the way we're saying, like it's sitting like, so Earth 1 and 2 are like on this base layer, and then 4, 5, 6 are on that layer as well. But prime actually sits above them, like overlooking, like it's on a different rule set.
Yeah.
To go back to the Echoes rule, it's on the fringe, it's on the outside looking in at everything. Does things not quite affect it in the same way?
I think they'll question things. Perhaps maybe some of them will, if they, especially
Yeah.
if they integrate with their hosts and the host takes over a bit more. They'll maybe like question, and yeah, maybe they'll doubt like if everything was just a part that we're playing because it was such a fantastical story. Of course, it's a TV show because it's not something that sounds real. Like
Yeah.
you know,
They got themselves lost in it a little bit.
which could get us back to one of the things we really liked about season 1 is the idea of believing in it. Like you have to believe for it to be real.
That's the hope.
And it could get very meta with how like treating art form as like a form of, like of it meaning something regardless of if it's true or not, right? If just simply believing in it gives it some meaning.
It gives it power.
Yeah.
Right.
I could see them getting very meta with that.
Yeah, I can too. I think 3 has the potential to be my favorite.
Oh, that's lofty.
Given what it could play with.
That's lofty.
Yeah.
Oh well, damn.
That was something.
Congratulations, Zoe. You've stumped us at the end of the season.
Genuinely, I came away from that going, what the hell am I going to say about this? I mean, we've talked for like half an hour. It's fine, but for about 2 minutes, I was like, just what the hell?
I mean, if you get really meta with it, then well, is she this chosen one because she's the writer?
Yeah.
Because she's literally the writer. That's why she has this ability to come back and travel dimensions because she's writing the script.
Is she having some marital problems, and that's why she's written her husband as the villain?
Oh, I could see that. Jason Isaacs is a prick. Jason Isaacs will be a good sport if he lets himself be written as a complete abusing prick.
He's a good sport in a lot of things. I think he'd go along with it. He's a good dude.
I really hope there's a scene in part 3 where some kid sees him and yells a Spelliamus at him or whatever, and he just says "piss off" and just fucks away.
Oh, that'll be good.
All right, well that's the OA part 2 finale. I don't even know what more he had.
No, I got nothing else.
I think there's a lot of things that I could leap to and try to mold it in a thematic sense to like bringing it to the real world, but I think that would be more interesting actually in part 3, which we will hopefully get when we actually start exploring those things.
We will get it. It's gonna happen
in 2.5 years' time.
I had a dream about it.
So, by all means, let us know what you thought of the finale in the comments below, and the season as a whole. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at @mailed_fudge for channel updates. If you want to support the show and the channel and everything we do here, you can get us over at patreon.com/mailfuzztv. You can support us for as little as $1 per month, which gets you some stuff early, gets you some bonuses. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?